Coming up on NonStop Local at 4, rivers reaching flood stages across the Pacific Northwest. We have the latest on travel impacts and where you can find some aid. And the recent social media ban in Australia launching a worldwide conversation. NonStop Local's Ainsley Anderson has details on how people in our area are feeling about a potential ban here in the United States.
And we've got a mess out there. We have got widespread flooding, especially for the west side of the state. We're going to talk about that. A new wind advisory that is now in place. When we can finally see a break, it's all ahead. NonStop Local at 4 starts right now.
Corey Howard and Leslie Lowe, bringing you the content that connects our community. You're watching NonStop Local News at 4.
And central and western Washington continuing to feel the effects of heavy rains and wind as the National Weather Service reports more rain bringing a risk of additional flooding in the Cascades and the Idaho Panhandle. The Kittitas County Sheriff sharing closures in place, including areas along State Routes 10 and 906 with no predictions on reopening, with water damaging roadways and creating driving hazards. The National Weather Service has kept the flood warning for Kittitas County in place today. Pretty messy out there. Let's send things over to Leslie Lowe in the Weather Center tracking these conditions. Leslie, no other way to say it. It's messy.
It's messy, that's for sure. And we're seeing a little bit of everything. Specifically, I'll say the rain, widespread and heavy rain at times, and then the winds as well. So I'm going to start with that. The winds are a big player, especially for the east side of the state. You can see here we've got wind advisories that are in place, and they'll be in place now as we get a little bit closer into tomorrow morning. I want to go first to a closer look in central Washington now and some of the additional warnings from the Kittitas Department of Health regarding the water there. The Department of Health is warning residents in areas affected by floodwaters that there could be potential contamination for those with compromised water sources. The health department says you should only drink bottled or boiled water until your well has been tested. And if you take a look at this map right here, there are stations where residents and business owners who need sandbags can go to fill up their bags or get new ones. The stations include 2 Kittitas County Fire and Rescue stations, Thorpe Fire Station, and the Snoqualmie Pass Fire and Rescue Station. Right now, Yakima County Emergency Management tells us that Donald Wapato Bridge is currently closed to traffic due to the flooding there at the Yakima River. According to the Yakima Valley Emergency Management, it closed last night after parts of the road started flooding. You can see the river rushing into normally dry areas to the north side. Anyone wanting to use the bridge will have to, at this point, go around.
We still see a lot of people. As a matter of fact, I just drove to Selah an hour ago and I counted 30 people that were down in the different places by the water. I understand it's exciting, I understand it's cool, but you are in an incredibly dangerous situation, and in 3 minutes you can be trapped.
Right now, there are no projected reopening times or dates, and I do want to alert you more on a travel impact here. This is at eastbound I-90. This is milepost 30, just west of Snoqualmie Pass. A mudslide onto the roadway. The biggest concern that we really have been having for those mountain passes. The roadway there, again, you can see covered in mud. Washington State Patrol tells us this area, I-90 eastbound at State Route 18, is closed now at milepost 30. 3 vehicles were caught in that slide, stopping traffic there in the area. So far, no injuries, and all occupants have been able to exit their vehicles. Still, there is no projected reopening time or date for that. Boy, it has been a lot. So again, from mudslides to flooding to the winds, let's get to that wind advisory. You can see wind advisory in place. It will be in place through 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. It does include Spokane, parts of I-90 headed eastbound, and then over towards the West Plains, down through parts of the Upper Columbia Basin, Yakima Valley. Parts of the basin and the Palouse, though, are under high wind warnings. It's just say that the wind gust expected around Spokane area shaded in light brown or the tan color, anywhere from 45 to 55 miles per hour. Those areas within the high wind warning, though, could see wind gusts 60 to 70 miles per hour. You can see they're pretty much elevated at this point, anywhere from 25, 35 mile per hour sustained winds. The biggest concern that I'm seeing with this, especially when you factor in those wind gusts right now, they're clocking in at 44 miles per hour in Spokane, 51 miles per hour in the Tri-Cities. Is shallow tree roots. We've had a lot of moisture. That means the potential of damaged trees and or downed trees, which could equate to power outages out there as well. As far as satellite radar goes, we're seeing a little bit of a break in the showers, not so much for the northwest corner. They continue to see that widespread and heavy rain, and the snow levels tonight up above 5,000 feet. So we are seeing messy conditions up across those mountain passes. The areas you see shaded in yellow, this is where we're seeing heavy downpours, and we continue to see rises in all of our streams, rivers, and creeks. We've got a number of flood warnings that are in place, specifically for Chelan County back over towards the west side of the state. We've got a couple that have popped up over here on this side of the state as well, and we're going to continue to follow this, watch this very closely over the next couple of hours. I'll bring Justin in the 6 and 6:30 hour. He'll give us a better breakdown as to what some of those major flooding aspects are with the rivers there on the west side of the state. Also, avalanche warning still in place through tomorrow now, Corey. That means please stay out of the backcountry.
All right, thank you very much, Leslie. Happening right now, bit of commotion over near Gonzaga as word is spreading about a deal that sounds too good to be true, so we had to go see for ourselves. NonStop Local's John Webb either joins us live from the scene or live from the year 2004, because, John, that was about the last time Washington's average gas price was what drivers are seeing out there right now.
I feel like it's got to be 1980 at least, right, Corey? Take a look at behind me. $1.93 right now here at Hamilton Market. This is just off of Hamilton, and it's been going down steadily all day, and I'll tell you why. Because the mobile gas station just across the street, they're at $1.95. When we first got here, it was $1.99. So they're having a bit of a price war. Now, I want you to go down a little further, Robbie, and show Exxon. Well, we're back to 2025, Corey. $3.65. It looks like they'll be getting coal for Christmas this year. Look at the line of all the cars that are here this afternoon. They're kind of backing up traffic on Hamilton, so we have some traffic recommendations for you. You're going to want to take Indiana if you're traveling up north. You go to Columbus and then come to Baldwin. Right now, it's causing a bit of backup in the right-hand lane of Hamilton here, right in front of Hamilton Market. We talked to the manager of Hamilton Market earlier today, who said he wants to do it to give back to the community that gives so much to them. We also did speak to some very, very happy customers who are excited to see $1.95 for a gallon of gas.
Yeah, I saw it on Facebook that it was here, and we were going to go fill up at Costco tomorrow, so I just figured I'd come here. They said it was at $2.27, and then when we got here it was at $1.97, so it'll save us about $50.
Wow, $50. Can you imagine that? He said it cost him about over $100 to fill up his tank of gas for his pickup truck. And they're going to be bidding all night, it sounds like. They keep dropping the prices ever since we got here. Earlier today, it was about $2.19, and they just continue to drop. I asked how long they're going to continue to drop. He said until they're out of gas. And about 30 minutes ago, they had about a half a tank, Corey. So you and Leslie better get over here after the 4 o'clock show. I already got my car filled up.
All right, John, thank you very much. Appreciate it, and good luck to everyone standing out there waiting for gas. Meanwhile, beginning today, Australia is prepared to fine Facebook and other social media platforms millions of dollars if they don't take steps to remove all users ages 16 and under from their platforms. Right now, this is beginning to spark the conversation of what impact would that have if that were to happen here in the States. NonStop Local's Ainsley Anderson joining us live. Ainsley, you spent the day speaking with parents and a local social media influencer about how this could impact the younger generations.
Yeah, Corey, well, it's no surprise that social media, it plays a big part in a lot of people's everyday lives. And leaders with the Australian government, well, they say that this is their attempt to get kids to log off and engage in real life. This is a move Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese calls a world first. The law took effect today, and parents say some kids are upset losing access. It's also a blow to youth influencers who will likely see a lost source of income. And while the ban is not in effect for the United States, I got the chance to speak with one local social media influencer who says if it weren't for his social media accounts gaining traction when he was only 14, he wouldn't be where he is today.
I just think back, like when I was growing up on social media, I was so inspired by so many people doing so many great things, and that created me to become this. Like if I never grew up on that, I would have never seen that it's possible. I wouldn't even be able to comprehend like I can vision this big and have this big of a dream. And so for me, it was really helpful to kind of see that it's possible and be inspired and then do the same.
Coles also says this now limits his international reach to his Australian viewers and says he's disheartened by the ban. Australian leaders will monitor the progress over the next few weeks to determine if the ban is working. But for now, for many kids who wake up and log on to Snapchat or Instagram, well, they're going to have to find a different way to connect. Corey.
Ainsley, thank you very much. Meanwhile, chronic wasting disease, or CWD, continues to spread among deer across the inland Northwest. This is the first general hunting season where testing for the disease is required in Spokane County and the surrounding areas. And it's not just hunters who've seen a hit to their harvest. NonStop Local's Rosemary Wright joining us live now. And Rosemary, you've been tracking the impact of chronic wasting disease, and it's having an impact on the historical business here in Spokane since this summer.
Corey, Crown Foods here in Spokane opened back in 1956. They faced 69 general hunting seasons, and this year's has been a slower one. As chronic wasting disease, or CWD, spreads among big game in the inland Northwest, Fish and Wildlife is calling on hunters to track the disease and protect our game population. This is the first season where law requires testing of all deer, moose, and elk harvested or salvaged in Washington's eastern region. I first met with Crown Foods in September when they told me it was uncertain how this general season would go. Today, we checked in again.
We've had like 300 to 400 deer a season in previous years, and we're well under that. So we're, somewhere maybe 50, 75, somewhere in there. Quite a bit less than what we've had in the past, obviously, because of the CWD.
Crown Foods tells me it's uncertain whether this decrease was due to fewer deer in the area as a result of the disease, or fewer hunters willing to face the strict testing requirements for the region. Now, Fish and Wildlife tells me they found 8 positive cases in Washington state since 2024, 2 of which were in Spokane County in the last month. Live in Spokane, Rosemary Wright, NonStop Local.
Rosemary, thank you very much. Still to come this afternoon on NonStop Local at 4, streaming services. Basically just cable TV now, right? The new genre-based plans that YouTube TV plans to offer in the new year that will have you saying, hey, this looks familiar, doesn't it? We'll be right back.